Hey everyone. When you first look at a market chart, it can feel like you're trying to solve a huge, messy puzzle, right? Well, today we're going to become detectives. We're going to hunt for clues that are hiding in plain sight, clues that tell a story about where the price might be headed next. So, let's dive in.
Have you ever looked at a chart like this one and just thought, what is going on here? It's just a squiggly line that zigs and zags all over the place. It seems to stop for no reason and then suddenly turn around. So the big question is, why? Why does it move like that?
You might think it's completely random, but what if I told you it's not? What if there are invisible lines that the price is actually paying attention to? Secret clues that can help us make sense of the chaos. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover. Okay, to make this super simple, I want you to just picture something. Forget about charts and trading for just 1 second. All you need to imagine is a bouncy ball bouncing around inside a room. This one simple idea is going to unlock everything for us. So in our room, that bouncy ball is going to hit two main things, right? The floor below it and the ceiling above it. And honestly, that's pretty much the whole secret. In the world of trading, we just give them fancy names. The floor is called support, and the ceiling is called resistance.
Let's start with the floor, which we call support. Think of this as a price level, where a whole bunch of people suddenly think, wow, that's a bargain, and they all rush in to buy. All that buying pressure creates a solid floor that stops the price from falling any further.
And here's exactly what happens. When our bouncy ball, which is the price, remember, hits that floor, what does it do? Bong! It bounces right back up. It's like all those buyers create a trampoline that just pushes the price higher. So, what about the ceiling? Well, in trading, that's what we call resistance. This is a price where people start to think, okay, this is getting a little expensive. Time to sell. And when enough people start selling, it acts like a ceiling that the price really struggles to break through. So let's put them side by side, real quick. At support, the floor, the buyers are in control, and they push the price up. At resistance, the ceiling, the sellers are in control, and they push the price down. Floor and ceiling, buyers and sellers. That's the constant battle going on in the market.
Okay, that all makes sense in theory, but how do we actually find these invisible lines on a real, live chart? How do we spot these clues for ourselves? Well, it's actually way easier than you might think.
It's really just a simple 3-step process. First, you just look back, look at the chart's history. Second, you hunt for the spots where the price clearly turned around, like it hit a wall and bounced off. And here's a tip. The more bounces from the same area, the stronger it is. Finally, you just connect those points with a line. That's it.
Now, check this out. You can see it in action right here. Even before we draw any lines, you can almost feel where those invisible walls are, right? See how the price comes down to that area at the bottom and just bounces up again and again? And look at the top. It hits that ceiling and gets pushed right back down. Those are the clues we're looking for. So why does this even work? It really comes down to one thing: memory. Traders and investors remember these levels. They saw where the price bounced before, so when the price gets near that same floor again, everyone expects it to bounce. And because they all start buying, it does bounce. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay, now just when you think you've got this all figured out, the market loves to throw in a good plot twist. See, these floors and ceilings, they don't always stay where they are. Sometimes they switch jobs.
Let's go back to our bouncy ball. What happens if you throw it so hard that it just smashes right through the ceiling? What happens next? And this is the coolest part. When the price finally gets enough power to smash through that ceiling, that old ceiling that used to push the price down, now becomes the new floor that holds the price up. It's like you broke through to the next level in a video game, and now you're standing on what used to be the roof.
This amazing little switcheroo has a name, of course. It's called a role reversal. And it is a super important clue that traders are always watching for. It basically tells them that the battlefield has changed.
So, we've learned how to see these hidden floors and ceilings. But why is this like having a superpower? Why does this actually matter when you're looking at a chart? Well, here's what the experts say. Knowing where these floors and ceilings are is like having a secret map. Now, this map doesn't tell you the future, but it shows you all the important spots, the key battlegrounds where a fight between buyers and sellers is probably going to happen. It just helps you make smarter guesses. But, and you really have to hear this, it's so important to remember that these floors and ceilings are not made of solid steel. They're more like guidelines. That bouncy ball can and eventually will break right through them. All right, let's do a super quick recap of our detective work.
Number 1. Support is the floor. 2. Resistance is the ceiling. 3. You find them by looking for those old bounce points. 4. Don't forget the plot twist. Old ceilings can become new floors. And the biggest rule of all, these are just clues. They are not guarantees.
The cool thing is, you now have this new skill. You can look at a chart and see the hidden structure, the floors and ceilings that everyone else is watching. But, this is just the beginning. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secret patterns is the market just waiting to show us?